This is question number 26. Alright, so I'm trying to solve for r. I notice that when I always ask kids what's the variable, they say r squared. Really, r is the variables. R is just being squared. So when I also ask kids what's being done to r, they'll say square, which is true. But we want to get rid of the multiplication and divide first. So you always want to get rid of, be patient on r squared. That's later on. So think of PEMDAS. All right. So let's say we write PEMDAS here, and when you don't have variables, you normally go this way. So you would do parentheses, exponents, divide, add, subtract. But in algebra, we go opposite. We go subtract, add, divide, multiply. So really, we have multiply by pi and h, and then we have the exponent. So we want to do the multiply, which the opposite of multiply would be divide first. So we're going to do that first. All right, so here we go. We are going to take, and my variables are, and it's being multiplied by pi and h. So divide both sides by pi and h. And the pi's and h will cancel out. And I'm going to change my r squared. I'm going to move it over here so I like it. So r squared equals volume over pi times h. Now, we talked about it earlier. You have a square root. To get a square root, you do this square. You have to do the square root to both sides. And when you do this, this will give me r. And this will be the square root of v pi h. Now, sometimes they'll have this as an answer. Okay? But you can simplify this, and I am going to simplify it. So we have r equals, we're going to separate the one big fraction to two radicals, two separate radicals. So I got a radical in the denominator and a radical in the numerator. Alright, by rule we cannot have a radical in the denominator, so I'm going to multiply the square root of pi h to top and bottom. And when I do this, the golden rule is multiply inside to inside. So that means I only can multiply things that are inside the radical to things in the other radical, inside of the other radical. So if I multiply, my first radical will have a v, a pi, and an h in it because they're all inside. So when I multiply them, I just put them together. However, on the bottom part, I actually have the square root of pi square h square. All right? And what this means is that if you don't forget, it's kind of like this. Whenever you multiply, let's say 4 times 4, they're the same number and you're multiplying radicals, it actually becomes the same number that you started with under the radical if you do it right. So when I get through here, r is going to equal the square root of v pi h over pi h. And this is my other answer. Either one of these could be the correct answer.